Hello everybody, welcome to Motivation Monday. I'm Jeannie Cioli from Ladera Ranch, California, here to share a quick and easy stamping project with you for the holidays. This is my chance to share some fun stamping, some tips and some tricks. So I hope you enjoy what we're making today. Our project is going to feature the fun Peace and Joy stamp set and the coordinating joy dies. These are so much fun. I can't wait to share a little bit more about those with you. Today our project is going to be using several colors. We have Bermuda Bay, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, and Real Red. And this is the fun card we'll be making. I just love this set. It kind of has that clean retro feel to it. And this was super easy to make, so if you wanted to make a lot of them for the holidays, you can. So let's get started. Now I'm going to be sharing some dimensions with you. Don't worry about writing those down. You can go to my stampwithjeannie.com website, listed right here, and you'll find the measurements and the products used in this card. So our first card piece that we need is the card base, and that is 5.5 by 8.5. So let's go ahead and fold that in half, and then we're going to use our bone folder to get that nice crisp edge. All right, then I have two pieces of Whisper white cardstock that were cut to 4 by 5.25. One of those I have embossed with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder just to give it a little bit of interest. So let's go ahead and glue that to the front of our card. Then I have a piece that is 2 3/4 by 3, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping on that. So we're going to start with the largest of the sparkles. There's two sizes, one large, one small, and we're going to start with the largest one. And we're just going to stamp a couple of images using the Bermuda Bay ink. And while I'm doing this, I want to go ahead and decorate the inside of my card and the envelope as well. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And this is my envelope, and I'm just going to add some of the same images in the Bermuda Bay along that. And then I have my inside of my card, and I'm going to add a few of the large sparkles to that as well. Let me clean my stamp so it's ready for the next time and go with the next color. So I'm going to bring back our piece for the front of our card, and now I'm just going to use the Gorgeous Grape and add a couple of those images as well. Clean my stamp. Oh, I'm not going to clean my stamp because I want to stamp my envelope a few times as well, and the inside of the card. I'll add one right there. Okay. Let's bring our card piece back. Now I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green. Add a few of those to the front of the envelope too. and also the inside of our card. Ooh, I have a little bit of water there. And as you can see, I like to stamp off the edges. I don't want just a cluster of ink in the center there. I want it all over. And so now let's use the Mango Melody. And we'll add some of that to the inside of the card. And a few to our envelope. And then we have our last color, which is Real Red. Just add a little bit of that around. Add a few to the front here. And then some to the inside of our card. Oop, I have some ink on my fingers, so I got a little bit of ink here, so we'll take care of that by just adding the same color. This is the Bermuda Bay. Let me see if I can cover up those spots there. Not too bad. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and, no, I'm not, because I want to stamp a couple of pieces here. So I have just a random piece of cardstock, just a scrap, and I am going to use the holly leaves and the little berries from our Peace and Joy stamp set. So we just stamped with the two sparkles, and now we're going to use the holly leaves and the berries. So I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green, and then I'm going to use Real Red for these cute little berries. And I love these. They have these darling little highlights to them. Let me bring that up so you can see that a little bit better. So fun. Okay, we don't have a die for these, so we are going to do some fussy cutting. And let me close these pads before I get ink everywhere. I already had it all over my fingers from the Bermuda Bay. Let's get these all out of the way here. All right. That. So now we're going to do some fussy cutting, and we're going to cut these images out, but through the magic of television I have gone ahead and cut those so they are ready for us. And let me just put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. So I'm using the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and these will be ready for us shortly. Okay, so I'll set those aside for a minute. We have a 1 7/8 inch stitched circle. That is from the Stitched Shape dies. And we are going to go ahead and glue that into a 2 1/4 inch circle. And now we can go ahead and mount our holly leaves. and our little berries. There we go. Let's just set that aside for a minute. Okay, so we have our piece that we stamped. And I'm going to cut this into 1-inch slices. But once again, to save time, I have already done that. And I have numbered these to remember where my pattern, which way my patterns were. I have that. So I want to make sure that these snowflakes, or I'm sorry, sparkles, match up. So it would go just like that. Okay, then I have pieces that I have cut to 1 1/4 by 3, and I put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this already to save us a little time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these pieces to, and I have numbered these so I know which ones go together. And I'm just going to glue those into the center. So that's number 3. This is number 2. And number 1. So now we have our 3 pieces. They go like that. And we're going to bring our card front in to glue these on. So I am going to start in the middle. And I know that I want to be about a 1/2 inch on the top and bottom and in the middle here. Now I'm not going to press down in case I have to move this. And then let's go ahead and put the side ones on. Once again, it's going to be about a 1/2 inch from the side. I want the border surrounding these rectangles to be pretty even. And then I can go ahead and mount the last one, and it is going to be about a 1/2 inch now from the left side. I got this piece on a little crooked, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be covered. So now we can take our circle and we can glue that to the front right edge, like that. Okay, and then we have our bright that I used the die cuts out of, and these are the Joy dies, and let me show you. So what's really fun is each one of these has 3 dies. So there's 3 words: joy, peace, and bright. And there is the thin line, like the red that you see here. Then there's a smaller border, and then a larger border. So you have 3 ways to cut out your dies. And let me show you. So, like I said, we have the white piece that borders the thin red line. And then if you wanted to, you could cut another layer and have that puffy background behind there. Okay, I wanted this to be a little bit thinner, so I decided not to use the Bermuda Bay piece. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and put these on Stampin' Dimensionals as well. I have a little bit of glue here. Let me get that off. There we go. And I'm going to put Stampin' Dimensionals behind the wide areas here. Now I am not going to put dimensionals on the T because that is already going to be popped up on this little layer here. So I'm just going to add some of the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. A couple more spots here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of our liquid adhesive and I'm just going to put it just on the tips of the T. There we go. And now pull those backings off. And we're just going to slide that underneath there. And I've got a little bit of an angle here. Put those on. So now we have our bright, but we need a little Mary Ann. So I have the little stamps here, and let's pull out our Bermuda Bay and our Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to cut a little strip of paper here. And I'm going to make this about 3 1/8 inch here. And I'm just going to try to stamp it this way. Normally I would stamp and then cut, but let me see if this will work. So we have our little strip, and here's our little Mary. And I put a piece of black cardstock behind this because my surface is a little light and it's kind of hard to see the borders, but if you put a dark piece behind, you'll be able to see that really well. And I'm just going to stamp my Mary. That looks pretty good. And stamp the and. Yay, it worked. Perfect. Okay, now we can go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. And then I'm going to make this end a flag shape. And the best way to do that, I have found, is to go ahead and just slice up straight up the center and then cut from the bottom left corner up to that slice, and then the bottom right corner up to the middle slice, and you have a nice even flag shape for your banner. And I'm going to close these because if you've already noticed, my fingers are full of ink. I am one messy stamper. I really like to get into it, I guess. All right, so we're going to take this and we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive here on both ends because we have that little space in the center. And we're going to glue that in right here, nice and straight. And that looks great the way it is, but I love sparkles, so I try to put a little bit of sparkle on every project that I make. So we are going to use our clear epoxy droplets. They look like water droplets. They're so pretty. There's also a set of frosted drops, so fun to use. So now I'm just going to take these and put a few onto the front of my card. There we go. And I'm just randomly putting these within some of the sparkles here. And that looks great, but I want a little bit more sparkle, so I'm going to add a couple more outside of our sparkles. Never have too much sparkles. All right, so there we have it. There is the front of our card, but we have the inside piece to put in. So let's do that. I am just going to add that to the inside. There we go. So now we have fun on the outside, fun on the inside, and we have fun for the Postal Service with a nice, colorful, decorated envelope as well. So that's it. That is our Motivation Monday project for today. I hope you enjoy it. If you like what you see, be sure to give me that thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see all of the projects that I make every Monday. Thank you so much for coming by my channel here today. I really would love to see you again. Have fun. Thanks.